What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my opinions on Night 2 of Wrestlemania 42. Giving my opinions on the matches and the outcomes. And for some of the matches, giving my opinions on what could happen in the future. With what the results were. I don't got much to say. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. First match on the card was Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. This match was very short. It was only 4 minutes, I think, and that was a complaint that people had with Night 1 of all the matches were way too short other than the main event and then Drew and Jacob. I think that's what that was. Yeah. But this match should have been 4 minutes, and it was exactly what it needed to be. Obafemi, I think starting the match with a lockup was actually interesting. But this guy's been brawling for fucking months, having the best feel on television. They started with a lockup. But it did get into like a way better. Brock was giving Oba clotheslines, and he was just no-selling them, and they looked stiff as hell. Oba was no-selling those. That looked really good. They did, Brock was giving Oba German suplexes. Oba didn't no-sell him, which I thought they were going to do. They were going to do like a Oba no-sells the German suplex, and then he gets up and hits him with the fall from grace. But Oba did sell the Germans. And then the ending, basically, was Oba had Brock in the corner, hit him with the running uppercuts that he does in the corner. Oba catches him, hits him with the F5. Oba just gets up. And it wasn't even straight up no-selling it, but like he just kind of got up and hit Brock with a choke slam, and Brock got up for that, and I appreciate that. Hit him with the fall from grace, which looked really good, and just straight up pinned Brock Lesnar. This is exactly what this should have been. This was a great, like I said, very short, but that's like I said, Oba should have beat Brock Lesnar in a short amount of time. This was great. Let's talk about the post-match angle. I don't know, an angle. I don't know. Brock Lesnar took his gloves off and his boots off, and was like genuinely like sobbing. Like I've never seen that before. But he was hugging Paul Heyman, basically signaling that he was going to retire, or that he is retiring, which kind of confuses me because if this is a retirement, what are we doing with Gunther? What are we doing with the whole Paul Heyman and Gunther situation? Because I'm pretty sure that entire storyline was going to lead to Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam for Brock's career in Minneapolis, which would have made sense. But if this was just a retirement where, hey, I put the young guy over and I retired, the hell yeah. Like, seriously. Obviously, this might just be... they might do a thing where Gunther like pressures Paul Heyman into bringing Brock back, and then that leads to Brock and Gunther at SummerSlam, and then Brock actually retires there. That's probably what that will lead to, actually. That's all I gotta say about this, though. This was really well executed. I really enjoyed this. It was great. Next match on the card was the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Another really good match. I think JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, and Rusev getting jobber entrances was really stupid. I don't... like... Also, you can tell, by the way, them getting jobber entrances is not going to win the match. I don't think that people had, JD McDonough winning, or, Dragon Lee or Rusev winning. But, like... at least give them a damn entrance. They could have done something cool. I don't know. If you're gonna give I don't know, they give Penta the damn sponsorship advertisement entrance. Like I don't know. But no, everybody in this match shined. Rusev threw the spot where Rusev threw JD into the ladder. JD McDonough, by the way, he is phenomenal. For someone, it's one of those things where he'll wrestle once every 2 months, and that one match is a fucking banger. JD was doing Spanish flies off the ladder. Dragon Lee was doing cool stuff. Rey Mysterio was about 50 years old, and he did a West Coast pop onto Rusev through the ladder on the outside. That was all these people are retiring, and Rey Mysterio is doing that. Penta shined. Javon Evans, dude. I knew that he was gonna do some crazy shit in this match, but like, by the end, I was rooting for him to win, dude. It was. I understand that people kind of are upset with the way that the Rusev OG cutter spot happened, because it was very obvious that Rusev had to like jump out a little bit to take it. I don't care. It looked cool. Like, Javon hit JD. I think it was either him or Dragon Lee with like this springboard clothesline thing that looked absolutely nutty. Everybody in this match looked good, and this probably the best spot of this entire match. Penta hit JD McDonough with a Mexican Destroyer off the ladder into another ladder, where JD McDonough sold his ass off and acted like he just died, which is exactly what you should do for that. And that's one of those things. Like I said, JD McDonough's awesome. I'll talk about that. But yeah, this does end with Javon hits that OG cutter onto Rusev. Penta comes back in, hits a Mexican Destroyer onto Javon. That looked pretty solid. And then Penta climbed the ladder to retain. And I actually think that this was a good decision, because here's the thing. Penta's reign just started. I feel like there's a lot of stuff they can do. He can feud with all 6 of the people in this match. Not all 6, like all 5, I guess. And I would be completely fine with it. Penta is really good. And I feel like giving him actual feuds and really solid matches is the correct direction for that. I think Javon does win the Intercontinental Championship, at least this year. And I think that I don't know what they'll do with the other people. I think Rusev will kind of just still be not on TV, because that's kind of what they're doing with him for some reason. He came back and had a thing, and then just hasn't done much since. Jay McDonough is going to be a background character like he always is. You know, Dragon Lee probably will actually do stuff, but like, I don't know. This match was really good. I was rambling at the end. This was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Next match on the card was Sami Zayn and Trick Williams for the United States Championship. I want to talk about the entrances first. Sami Zayn got booed out of the building, which I think everyone was assuming, but like, this was, once his music hit, it was everybody, dude. It was crazy. Trick Williams' entrance, I've seen about 20 memes about that entire thing. Dude had the longest jacket I've ever seen. It was like, it was, anyway. Lil Yachty did like ad-libs on Trick's music and basically ruined the entire thing. I don't know about ruining the entire thing, but like, made it worse, I'll be honest. I don't know, man. When Booker T did ad-libs on Trick's theme, that was good. This Lil Yachty stuff was different. This match was very short, this is an example of a short match that shouldn't have been short. I think this is very leaning into the double turn of Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Trick Williams was like, when he, spoiler, won the championship at the end, he was like celebrating with his family. He was massively cheered by the audience. Sami Zayn in this entire match was acting like a heel. He was, when the ref would try to like stop Sami from, hitting Trick, he would just push the ref out of the way and keep hitting him. He did a haluva kick on the outside and asked the ref to count, win back with count out, which, fucking holier than thou Sami Zayn. He would never do that. He's a fighting whatever. But he did a brainbuster on the apron. That looked fucking nutty. That was really good. But yeah, this did end with Lil Yachty getting involved. Trick did the trick kick. I think that's like that spinning kick. Sami kicked out. Sami went for he hit the exploder in the corner. Trick went for Sami went for the hoover kick. Trick hit the trick shot and won the championship. I think this was the right decision, especially if Sami's not going to turn heel at this show. I think this will definitely lead to more character development for Sami Zayn, which I really appreciate because that's probably the one gripe I have with him. He's a really good wrestler, but his character's been the same thing for the past 10 years. If you turn him heel, I'm completely fine with that because I think he's better as a heel, honestly. And this version of Sami Zayn, I was actually pretty entertained by. Overall, it was a fine match, way too short. Next match was Demon Finn versus Dominic in a street fight, which was made a street fight on the pre-show. This was another kind of short match. Here's the thing: Finn Balor's entrance being in the daytime, kind of, it was like the middle of day and night. That should be like, they should have ran this like the right before the main event when it's like dark outside, because that actually would have been better. Finn's entrance was really cool. I mean, it's the Demon's entrance. It's always cool. Dominic's entrance was really good. The King of the Luchadors thing where he was on the throne, that was awesome. But overall, a couple comments I want to say with this match. First of all, the Demon sold way too much. And I'm saying that in the aspect of, like, obviously he kicked out a 1 from the Frog Splash. He took so many just weapon shots and sold them like he was just a normal... Like, in WWE canon, the Demon's, like, some supernatural character. And, like, he kind of just sold it like he was, vanilla Finn Balor. And that was kind of weird. I think, I'll say this right now, by the way, before the match, Dominic's acting was really, like, him acting scared. I thought that was really well done. But this did end with Finn hitting the shotgun drop kick with a chair on Dominic's head, and he had a coup de grace into the table for the win. That was the right decision. If the Demon lost to Dominic Mysterio, that would have been probably killed the Demon character, honestly. Like I say, he lost to Edge at WrestleMania 39 and lost to Roman because God interfered. Like, this is a good win. But also, what does Finn Balor do after this? Because, once again, in canon, Finn Balor still hasn't done shit. He had to morph into the supernatural demon character to beat Dominic Mysterio. And I don't think that was I will say this, by the way. The Demon should have been a surprise. Like, I think that's, consensus. And I think them spoiling that kind of made this, I don't know. This was, like I said, it was very short, too. The reason why I'm kind of just, saying nothing is because there's not much to talk about in this. Like, it was fine. The 10 minutes that they got were fine. But, like I said, 12 minutes, 13 minutes. Like I said that for last, night. I think the time was a little bit handled better on this night because I think that's the thing, too. The actual wrestling from night 1 wasn't great because of the amount of time. I think this was a case of the wrestling was better even with the limited time. Overall, it was a fine match. Wasn't, like I said, short. It was cool to see the Demon. It's not, it's kind of all I gotta say. Second to last match on the card was Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship. Another kind of short match. I'm pretty sure this was also 10 minutes. I think this was Jade's best match on main roster. I say on main roster as if she hasn't been on main roster the entire time. But, like, other than the match on SmackDown with Jordynne Grace, this was probably the best Jade match on main roster. I had a lot of, I guess, lack of care for this match because I just didn't think it was going to be great. And it's kind of interesting because, like, Rhea Ripley is really good. No matter what you think about her, like, she's really good at wrestling. And I'll be honest, going into this, I didn't really care about Jade at all. I don't think, I think, the build up to this was kind of the reason why I didn't care for this. I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think either of their promos leading up to this were great. And I think that their chemistry was was off. And I think I was kind of worried that would go into the actual match, but I thought this was pretty solid. Jade was doing some moves that I haven't really seen her do. She did like a sunset flip thing from the apron. That was cool. She did a one-winged angel that was kicked out of, which is really funny. That's like the one. That's the one move where like you don't kick out of it. But this did end. Yeah, okay, they're basically the ending. Mia Yim and B-Fab were getting involved. They were beating up on Rhea, and then Io came out, which I'm very glad that Io was at least on this show. If she wasn't gonna have a match, I'll say this right now, by the way. If they were just gonna do the Paige thing, why not put Asuka and Io Sky on this match on this card? Seriously, like could have done something on the pre-show where Asuka and Io Sky start doing shit, and then they add that match to make a 7th match. There were 7 matches on night 1 and 6 matches on night 2. It was uneven. I don't know. Io Sky came out, took out both B-Fab and Mia Yim. The ending was really solid though. The last sequence. Jade went for a Jaded, and Rhea kind of reversed it, snuck under her, and then just went really cleanly into a Riptide. She won the championship. I thought that was really good. I think Rhea winning, good decision. It's just giving him, your biggest name in the company, on the women's division at least, the title. I think this could... Here's the thing with this. There's nobody on SmackDown for her to fight, other than Jade again. Who else is there? If they're not going to break up... I think, to be fair, breaking up Charlexa and doing a Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, they can wrestle for fucking... They can have a best of 10 series. I'll be fine with that, because all their matches have been really good. Putting Alexa back in the title division, I feel like people would like that. Even putting Alexa in the U.S. title division. I don't know. I'm saying shit. But, break up a lot of those women's tag teams, honestly. Because, I feel like those belts... Here's the thing. If those belts just did not exist, I think the women's division itself would be better. Because, there's so many more people, and all of them are stuck in the tag division. I feel like they could do something where someone from a tag team says, hey, I want to face the champion or something, and they're still in the tag team division. I feel like they could be doing that, and they haven't really done that. That's just me saying stuff. Overall, the match was better than I thought it was going to be, but another short match, only 10 minutes. But it was honestly a pretty solid 10 minutes. Right before talk about the main event, I want to talk about the John Cena, Danhausen, Miz, Kit Wilson segment. John Cena came out, was just talking about the attendance. Miz and Kit Wilson came out, Miz said he wanted a WrestleMania moment. Danhausen came out and did the whole... he came out with a bunch of little people. And there was 10 of them. They all came out together. Danhausen came out in in a tank like he was Shotzi Blackheart. He came out like a mini tank. He came out, all of them walked to the ring, and Miz and Kit Wilson were talking shit to the little people, and one of the little people punched Kit Wilson in the dick. He sold it, and then all 10 of the little people just started beating up on Kit Wilson. They left the ring. And then Miz was saying something. Danhausen punched Miz in the dick, and then I don't know how they got to this, but Danhausen did a 5-knuckle shuffle onto the Miz, which then led to him rolling out of the ring and all the little people carrying him like they were worker ants. It was literally all of them were carrying the Miz. Like they were going to put him on a damn cross or something. Anyways. And John Cena apparently loved it. He was... The last 10 seconds of that was John Cena just apparently dying. He was just laughing. I thought this was cool. Some people didn't like it, saying it was too goofy or whatever. It's fucking wrestling. It's not that deep. I don't know. WWE's gone. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. No, like him or not, Danhausen is one of the most over guys in the company. Like, people like him. The audience seem to like it. They're not gonna care about some guy on Twitter's opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Well, that's me saying shit. Overall, it was fine. Good segment. Last match on the card was the main event: Roman Reigns and CM Punk. I thought, I'll just talk about their entrances because that was about 20 minutes of the build up. I thought the hype package they showed was actually pretty good too. But Roman Reigns' entrance, there was like a choir singing him. They like sang his theme song basically. Very similar to WrestleMania 39, I'm pretty sure. And they played Roman's old theme song, the Head of the Table theme song, instead of the I Am Greatness song he's been using for his babyface run. And he came out like Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Like when he was the champion. And, that entrance took a long time. He got to the ring. It was really solid. And then CM Punk's entrance, they played a little video with his Ring of Honor theme song playing over that. And that was really cool. It was like on top of Allegiant Stadium. CM Punk kind of walked out, but it was with silence. And then he was kind of standing there for a little bit. He yelled, "It's clobbering time," and the entire crowd said it with him. And they played CM Punk's music. I also noticed that his Titantron was like way more vibrant than it normally is. Like, it was very bright. That might have just been lighting. I don't know. He came out. His jacket was really cool. It had like a bunch of, I think like Harley Race was on it. Like his name, Larry, all the bunch of people that have died, kind of honoring them. That was really good. He got to the ring. This crowd was very mixed, by the way, on who they wanted to win. It was basically like a half and half. Well, when they did a boo yay spot, they were kind of just both doing yay, and it was like pretty cool. Anyways, this match was like 30 something minutes long. It was a very long match. I think like I said, I'll talk about the ending more. There's a lot of spots in this. I think the first like 20 minutes was really solid. This is different from the main event of night one, where the first 20 minutes kind of sucked. But I think the actual wrestling from CM Punk and Roman Reigns was actually pretty good. I think in terms of this match, the story was really well told. I was kind of down on the whole feud being about the whole year-old thing, which was like, apparently a substitute for Roman Reigns talking shit about Larry. But like that was really, played in this match, and it played out really well. Just want to talk about a couple spots. CM Punk taking the Ula Fala from the fan and doing the Superman punch was really solid. I think the inconsistency, by the way, with referees in this on both nights. If the spot calls for it, they're not going to do any 10 count. They're trying to do a count out. If there's no need for something, they're going to do a count out. I don't know. They're going to count to 10. This showed. They were brawling on the outside, and the referee didn't count anything. Roman Reigns hit CM Punk with the steel steps and didn't get DQ'd. They tried to explain that by saying it's the main event of WrestleMania and they wouldn't just end the match, which I guess that's fair. CM Punk was bloody. Roman powerbombed CM Punk into the table. After the Ula Fala, CM Punk doing the Superman punch, he went for the spear, got trapped in a guillotine, which then was reversed into a roll-up, which then was reversed into an Anaconda Vice. I'm probably missing this wrong. And then Roman got him back in the guillotine, which was reversed into a sharpshooter, which was reversed into a roll-up. Like, that entire sequence was really well done. But I just want to talk about the ending, because the story for this was amazing. Really well done. CM Punk hits a top rope elbow onto Roman Reigns, from the top of the top rope into the announce table, like he did with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29, except he actually hit it this time. I think it's really funny that he couldn't hit it then, but he can hit it, 13 years later. But he got back in, hit Roman with a GTS. Roman fell back into CM Punk's shoulders, like the match at I guess Raw on Netflix when versus Seth Rollins, or the match with Jey Uso at Saturday's Main Event. And he tries to hoist up Roman Reigns for the GTS, and he just collapses. And Roman takes advantage. CM Punk tries to go for a couple more swings, but he's on his knees. He can't do anything. He's too banged up. He's too old. His body basically gave out. Roman hit 2 spears and won the championship. The entire story of this match was so good. The way they did it was so good. Everything about this was really good. No interference, just a clean match. That's kind of the thing with main events of the Triple H era, I guess. A lot of interferences. 39 had interferences. 40 had a lot of interferences. 40 had the Travis Scott thing. 41, 42 didn't have any. And that's really good. This, just bell to bell, phenomenal wrestling match. And when I saw this, live, I was like, Roman's the champion again, whatever. Here's the thing, on the post show, he said that he's not going to be part-time anymore, which is probably implying that he's going to show up. I don't know about a weekly basis, but like maybe once every, a couple times every month, which is completely fine with me. If you're going to, because here's the thing, my main complaint about this, which I was talking about on the SmackDown review, was that Roman was going to be a part-time champion. He was going to show up every 3 months, wrestle on a pay-per-view, and then leave for 3 months, wrestle on the next show, etc. If he's going to be showing up wrestling on every pay-per-view, or even every other pay-per-view, that's fine. Showing up weekly, cutting promos, building storylines. I think if they can do that, I'm completely fine with Roman Reigns being the champion. And another thing, Obafemi on the post-show called out Roman Reigns and said, by the end of this year, I want Roman Reigns, which I'm assuming implies SummerSlam 2026, which also, I think implies that Oba's going to absolutely dominate King of the Ring and just win that entire tournament, and maybe even beats Roman at SummerSlam, which I would be very happy about. But overall, Night 2 was so much better than Night 1. And if I had to kind of group it together, WrestleMania overall, Night 1 I didn't think was that great. Night 2 was pretty solid. I think overall I'd probably say about a 5 out of 10 on WrestleMania because of... I will say, by the way, the ads were still egregious on this show. Genuinely, like 6 minutes in between matches is not... That's just stupid. The amount of ads was stupid. But in terms of the actual wrestling and some of the segments, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty solid. Night 2 probably gets like an 8 out of 10. Night 1 probably gets like a 4. Maybe even a 3, I don't know. Combine that, you get a 5 out of 10. Overall, I don't think this is the worst WrestleMania of all time, but I also don't think it's the best WrestleMania of all time. I think it was better than 41. I will say that. But like, Night 2 definitely saved this. If Night 2 was as bad as Night 1, that this just would have been a bad Mania overall. Overall, it was fine. I will be doing this, another video. I'm going to review Raw after Mania. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to do that on Tuesday. Lastly, that's all I got to say. What's the one motto we always follow? Fuck the Canes. See ya.